reason my health straightened itself out was you introduced me to the manufacturer or the source of creation itself. And yet this is still not something that's in my experience. Is this eventually something that will become in my experience? Is the source of creation something I'll actually be able to know for myself?
Right now you're mostly, not totally, but mostly enjoying only the effects of being introduced to the source of creation. If you have to know it totally, what is it that's limiting us? Let's understand this. See, right now this water, you don't experience this water as yourself. But over 70% of your body is actually water. So, in your life, the most important water body is your own body. So, this water that is within you right now was outside somewhere. Right now it's inside of you, so you experience it as myself, isn't it? So what is it that you call as myself right now is anything which is within the boundaries of your sensation, you call it myself. Now if you touch the water, that's not you, but if you drink it, it becomes you. So all that's happened is the water entered the boundaries of your sensation. So whatever is within the boundaries of your sensation is you. What is outside of your boundaries of your sensation is not you. This is your experience of life. This could have happened to you many times, it could have happened to everybody at some point in their life. When you're extremely happy, have you ever been so happy that tears came to you? If you've been happy or ecstatic in some way, if you just place your hands about 6 to 8 inches above your body, over your body, you will feel sensations right here as if the body is extended itself. Whenever your life energies become exuberant, you will see the sensory body expands. If you have not had such wonderful experiences, then I have to do something horrible to you.
This much I've experienced.
If I cut your leg, even if your physical leg goes away, still the sensory leg will be intact, it's a medical fact today. Still the pain and sensations will still be there, even after the physical leg is gone. So the sensory body has an existence of its own, beyond the physical body. So the whole science of yoga is just about this. The word yoga means everything has become one. Yoga means everything has become one in your experience. How can everything become one in your experience? Modern science proves to you that the whole existence is one energy, but you don't experience it that way. Religions of the world have been screaming for a long time that God is everywhere. You don't experience it that way. So when we say yoga, that means we are not willing to settle down for scientific deductions or religious beliefs. Deductions and belief systems are not good enough for you, you want to know it. That is the problem of a seeker, he wants to know it. If you make your life energies phenomenally exuberant, you will see this sensory body can become as large as the existence itself. You will experience the whole existence as a part of yourself. That is when we say you are in yoga. Yoga does not mean standing on your head, holding your breath or twisting yourself out, no. Yoga simply means use whatever method you want to use. There's every kind of yoga. There is no activity in the world, there is no activity that human beings can perform which is not yoga. If it is done with the right sense, it will become your yoga. Because anything that leads to inclusiveness, anything that leads to help you to experience life in a larger way than the way it is, which is a longing of every human being. So if you want to have a larger slice of life, the best way is to include everything as a part of yourself. If you have for a moment included something as a part of yourself, it has always been a big experience. For most people, love is the biggest experience they have in their life because it's a moment of inclusion. On the level of their emotion, they included. That's what made them feel that it's such a profound experience for them. It could have happened in so many different ways. If it finds a pure, basic physical expression, then we call that sexuality. If it finds an emotional expression, we call this love. this longing to include. If it finds a mental, psychological expression, generally in the society it gets labeled as ambition, conquest. If it finds a conscious expression, then we call it yoga. So yoga is not different from what you're doing with your life already. Already with your life, you're trying to include more and more. But if you go by physical means, it'll only lead to conquest and conflict. So yoga means you sit here and the whole existence becomes you, not even yours, it becomes you. See, right now, what you're experiencing as myself are the things that you have gathered, isn't it? This physical body is something that you accumulated through the food that you ate. What you call as my mind is an accumulation of impressions. So what you have gathered, you're experiencing as myself. If you gather the whole existence into yourself by expanding the sensory body, then everything is yourself. Is this possible? Is this some kind of a thing for people, somebody who is living in the Himalayan cave? No. Wherever you are, it is possible within you if you keep your life energies exuberant enough. When I say exuberant enough, by doing the Shambhavi Mahamudra and other Isha Yoga practices, there have been moments in your life when you have felt something within you which is not physical, which is not of the body, which is not of the mind, another dimension which reverberated within you, which is far bigger than the mind or the body.
But it's a fleeting experience.
So it is just a peep. It is just a peep at the creation, or it is just a peep at the source of creation. Now you want it to be a continuous experience. If you can have a peek into something for a moment, is it difficult to open the door and look at it all the time? It is just a question of inclination and ability to hold yourself there, isn't it? So is that possible? It is possible for every human being. Every human being is equally capable of knowing the source of his existence, of knowing the nature of his existence. When it comes to outside realities, all of us may not be equally capable. When it comes to inside realities, you are as capable as I am. It has not happened because your attention is somewhere else. So does it mean to say, I have to change my whole life? No. What you do with the outside is one thing. What you do with the inside is totally different. That's why people ask me, how much of yoga should I do? I say 24 hours. You shouldn't do anything other than yoga. You should make your, running your family into yoga, going to your office into yoga, your business into yoga, your very process of breathing and every step that you take into yoga. It is not about doing something, one particular practice which is yoga. You make every aspect of your life as a stepping stone for a higher possibility. That is the essence of Isha Yoga. That is what is produce the results for you. It is not about doing a particular practice. It is just that you're beginning to use every aspect of your life as a process of growth, not as a process of entanglement. That is the essence of yoga. So, if you use your intelligence to reach towards your ultimate nature, here we call this Jnana Yoga, yoga of intelligence. If you use your emotion to reach towards your ultimate nature, we call this Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion and love. If you use your physical body to reach towards your ultimate nature, we call this Karma Yoga, yoga of action. If you transform your inner energies and try to reach towards your ultimate nature, we call that Kriya Yoga, yoga of transforming energies. These are the only four things you can do. It doesn't matter which religion you are, what philosophies you're following, these are the only four things you can do. You can either use your body or your mind or your emotion or your energies, there's nothing else you can use. So the problem right now is, people are trying to do any one of them. I must tell you this story. This is a wonderful story from the yogic law. On a certain day, 4 men were walking in this forest. One of them is a Jnana Yogi, one who takes the intelligence path. Another is a Bhakti Yogi, one who is a devotee. Another is a Karma Yogi, a man of action. Another is a Kriya Yogi, who transforms his inner energies. They cannot be together usually because they can never be together. They don't agree with anything. But today they were walking together. Why I'm saying they cannot agree with anything is, a man of intellect, one who uses and employs his intellect excessively, who thinks logically, for him, a devotee looks utterly stupid. Utterly stupid. Somebody who is trying to walk looking up at the God that he believes in sounds very, very stupid. He cannot get along with him. A devotee has pity for the man of intellect because when God is here, instead of holding his hand and walking, what is all this hair splitting he is doing? Such a waste of life.
He's having more fun.
A man of action thinks all these philosophies are just a concoction of lazy people. Because if you want something to happen, you gotta do it. Just do it, you know. If you want really something to happen, you have to do it. So, man of action has total disdain for other people. A Kriya Yogi, one who transforms his energies, has a certain mastery over his energies, he has absolute disdain for all these three people because after all, the whole existence is energy. If you do not transform your energy, where do you go? You can't go anywhere. Because of these attitudes, these four people cannot get together, but today they were walking together and suddenly a rainstorm broke loose. Rain and winds severely happening, so they started running looking for a shelter and they found an old temple. The temple was in a dilapidated condition. All the walls had collapsed, only 4 columns were standing and a roof and a deity in the center. So these people ran into the temple, not in love for God, just escaping the storm. So they ran in, then the rain started lashing from every direction and there was no place to stand there, so they got closer and closer. Then there is no other way to escape the rain, they just hugged the deity and sat down, all 4 of them. God appeared. Then, in all their minds, the same question, why now? We did so much worship, so much yoga, so many things. You didn't come then, why now? Then God said, at last you 4 idiots got together. That's all that happened with you. You understand? Your mind is running away somewhere, your emotion in a different direction, your body is doing its own thing, your energies, you don't know what's happening. In that condition, it won't work. Unless you put these 4 wheels together, only then you can drive this somewhere. If the 4 wheels of your car are facing in different directions, if you try to make a journey, it'll be torturous. Then what would you choose after some time? You will choose to live in a stationary car. It's very safe actually, really, believe me.
But does willingness or receptivity also come into this, or is there more to it? I mean, okay, everything's happening, the mind, the body, it's all, but there's something that still says in me, isn't there more I should be doing, or something else? Or something I'm not doing right?
You must have noticed that sometimes with some people I'm very gentle, with some very rough. Sometimes the point has to be made, people don't get it that simply. They're so wrapped up in their own conditioning of the mind. Whatever you say, whatever you do, they keep going back to their old patterns because the old patterns have such a power on their life. The very way they think, feel, understand and act and perceive life is determined by their old impressions. If you have to break that, sometimes you need a more forceful approach. It's gently forceful.
Sadhguru, how do likes and dislikes fit into this, and comfort?
Are you comfortable on the rock?
I am.
So it's not that yogis don't like comfort, they're extremely comfortable. They're absolutely comfortable, I'm absolutely comfortable within myself. So where I am, in what kind of physical situations I am, is not an issue for me. So this seeking of outside comfort, it doesn't matter what type of sofa you sit on, you can still be uncomfortable, isn't it? And it's ecologically expensive, terribly expensive. Human beings trying to be comfortable, they're just burning up the whole planet. If people were comfortable where they are, they would have only done what is needed. They wouldn't have done life in excess, isn't it?
It's a comfort zone also that seems like it kicked out, you know, like just the box was
See,
small.
these are all terms coined by people who are never comfortable. They have formed a small niche or a cocoon of their own which they think they're comfortable in. I'm saying, if you're not comfortable in this universe, you don't have much place to stay, isn't it?
Very limited.
I'm asking this planet, right now your very body is a piece of this planet. Why are you not comfortable on this planet? You have to be in a particular room to be comfortable, you have to be in a particular space. That is a terrible limitation, isn't it? Nature has put sufficient limitations upon human beings. You don't have to invent new limitations. The moment you get trapped in, I like this, I don't like this, you're just dividing the world. The moment you fragment the world, your ability to experience it is gone. The moment I say, this rock is good, this rock is not good, my ability to experience what I think is not good is finished, isn't it? And my ability to experience what I think is good is also finished. See, if I think you are a good person, I will not see you the way you are, I will see you the way I like it. If I think you're a bad person, immediately I start seeing things which don't exist. If you think something is good, you lose contact with reality. If you think something is bad, you lose contact with reality. If you like something, you lose touch with reality. If you dislike something, you lose touch with reality. Only if you see everything the way it is, you're in touch with reality. And reality is the only doorway to the beyond. If you want to go somewhere, you can only start from where you are right now, isn't it?
This has been a shift since I've been here for me. I'll catch myself putting these labels on, I don't like this, I like this. And there's also something there now that says, why? Why are you labeling? It's fine. And it's a different experience than it was.
I'm not talking about being judgmental or non-judgmental, not those kind of things. All I'm saying is, the very basis of the trap for a human being is likes and dislikes. You like this, you don't like that, you're shutting off a huge part of the world for yourself. And then you wonder why you feel trapped. You have to feel trapped because you set up the trap. This is a self-made trap. Because the trap is an inside job, you need a little bit of outside help.